mainstream culture.
Oh, sorry. Anyway, not that. First expansion draft. So Anaheim had trouble with the stream record. Fuck. Talking. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the Seattle expansion draft. This is my prediction, I guess. I don't think that this will be right on any, like, on most fronts, mostly because there's a million deals that'll happen. So, because you can do, like, unofficial, official deals, right? Like, maybe they do take Driedger from Buffalo, but also involved with that is they actually pick Okposo straight up, but then they get like a bunch of people with it. So like that could be some things that happen. So basically, as long as like this player is involved, I'll call it like I got it correct. If this player eventually, relatively soon, gets on the team, I will consider it like a correct prediction. Because also with Anaheim, I think they could take Adam Henrique, but I'm not sure if they'll take him right away because his cap hit is a little steep. So maybe Anaheim makes a deal where instead of taking Haydn Fleury, they take Adam Henrique, but they get a bunch of other shit too. Maybe Haydn Fleury's involved with that. Like I would call it a win if Anaheim is traded off of taking Adam Henrique or Haydn Fleury. Because like I predicted it correctly that they were going to take it, but then Anaheim was like, no, take this guy instead. We'll give you all this shit. I don't know. I feel like that's like justified in calling that like a dub or a good prediction. Yeah, I'm gonna go smack some ogres again. So Haydn Fleury, Christian. So Haydn Fleury. Sorry, let's go with Anaheim first. So the reason why I think Haydn Fleury he's a good young defenseman that probably can use a new look maybe. Oh, okay. I have anyways. So can maybe use like a new look, and when he gets the new look, he plays a lot better than previously. Because he's on Anaheim. Anaheim's kind of a shit team right now. So maybe he gets maybe he looks better on a new team. Like a lot of other players do. So I would say they try to take Haydn Fleury, but I don't know that Anaheim will want to let him go. I feel like Anaheim is okay with letting Adam Henrique go. I don't think Ryan Getzlaf is going fucking anywhere. Sonny Milano is also another like interesting one. But I think that they will. Sonny Milano might be like something that you take in a deal. Like, okay, grab Adam Henrique and we'll give you Sonny Milano so that you don't take Haydn Fleury. I don't know. That's something that could possibly happen. But yeah, I think like Anaheim's like pretty simple. I don't know, $1.3 million cap hit, not that much for Haydn Fleury. And it gives on total cap room, you have easy room for Adam Henrique if necessary. But yeah, I don't really expect Haydn Fleury to go because yeah, like I feel like it's just too much of a loss for. Well, who else do they have on defense? Cam Fowler, Hampus Lindholm, Josh Mason, Manson, Jesus fucking Kevin Shattenkirk. Kevin Shattenkirk is a little getting older, still can play, I guess, and then Jacob Larson and Haydn Fleury. I don't know. I mean, I guess you're not like that sad about losing him. I mean, obviously you'd rather lose Kevin Shattenkirk, and then you can play Larson and I guess you can play Larson and Goalie, but Haydn Fleury and Larson. Let's just both the same handedness. I don't know what handedness Haydn Fleury is. I feel like he's right-handed. But anyways, yeah, I feel like I don't know. I just like Haydn Fleury to Seattle. I feel like that kid could use a new scenery. Anyways, moving on to Arizona. Arizona's interesting because Antti Ranta is a UFA that might join Seattle. but might not. So, but they still need to make a pick. Obviously, I wouldn't recommend wasting a pick on a UFA that, you know, is 32 years old and didn't have a great season with Arizona. J.T Compher definitely showed himself as more of a starter than Antti Raanta, and that's why Kemper's protected. In terms of forwards, I said they would take Christian Fischer. I think that's just a good player. 24 years old, $1 million cap hit. He can show himself on a new team, and I think he will. Also, yeah, there's no one really else to like take. Really, like if I just look at it, like Jason Demers would be like Demers would be like the better defensive pick, I think. But why would you? That's like a $4 million cap hit. So again, maybe like a deal comes in to get him instead. But I don't know. Christian Fischer just seems like the better option. That or yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know who else they would get because like they could try to get Raanta, but they can wait till UFA market to do that. So, anyways, so Arizona, it's not that great of picking. So I think Christian Fischer is like the best option they have. Boston's a little interesting because they have a really good young defenseman named Jeremy Lauzon, who they will probably lose unless, of course, they make some crazy fucking deal. But I don't think they have. I don't know why you would do that. Like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like you would have to give up way too much just to lose this player. I don't think he's worth all that much, but he looks like it just seems like the type of player that might go on. He's 24 years old, left-right defenseman, only making $850,000. Or as a cap hit. Yeah, like, so like that or the Connor Clifton, I guess, but Jeremy Lauzon is 2 years younger than Connor Clifton. So it's just, you know, another one of those players that probably on new scenery will play a fuck ton better than he is right now and really show himself and stay on Seattle like long term. I would hope. I think that like this one's a pretty good lock, Jeremy Lauzon. All I'm hearing is that he's a really good young defenseman that just needs new scenery, or like, or not that he needs new scenery, just that it's just, you know, he's just the odd man out at Boston, basically. Sadly, like Boston does not want to lose him. They just have to, because like you protect Charlie McAvoy, duh. You protect Matt Grzelcyk, duh. Brandon Carlo, duh. And then it's like fuck, like you can go 4-4, but then you're not protecting Jake DeBrusk, or you're not protecting Craig Smith, or you're not protecting Frederick Trent, or you're not protecting like Nick Ritchie's not even fucking protected. So maybe they take Nick Ritchie. Also, they take Nick Ritchie actually, but Nick Ritchie's an RFA. So he's asking for more money, whereas Jeremy Lauzon is an RFA in 2022. So you have like time with him. Anyways, like maybe Nick Ritchie goes, maybe it's possible, but I feel like Jeremy Lauzon's going. Next we got Buffalo. I said Jake Caligula, but maybe there's a deal for Okposo because they want to get rid of that contract, but I don't know why. If I'm Seattle, I'm kind of wondering, hey, like, why the fuck should I help you? So maybe I don't think Buffalo is really in much of a position to give away a lot to not like to get rid of Okposo. I feel like you got to keep your first round pick. Well, you can't give away this first. It's the first overall pick, so that's not happening. You can't give a first round pick some other time because you know you might still be a shitter of a team. I'm apparently getting fucking destroyed by these goddamn fucking buffoons, so I'm gonna have to leave for a second. I don't even have even drink my potion. Yeah, so I mean maybe like Cody Eakin goes, maybe Jake McCabe goes, but Caligula, 700,000, 27-year-old, maybe he can make himself a new player on a new team, you know? He's not a big cap hit at all. You kind of take him. Maybe a deal happens. I think I have a note here that Buffalo might make a cap move to so Seattle get Okposo. If that happens, I'll consider that a win. But if it doesn't happen, like whatever. What the fuck was that? So yeah, I think I was in Calgary. So now let's move on to Calgary. Like, there's not much to pick from fucking Buffalo. Let's be honest, they're a shambles of a team. So Calgary has an interesting Mark Giordano is available, but it's Mark Giordano. He's fucking ancient. Well, let me just fix this RuneScape tab and get my chat in here. Not that anyone's here anyway. But Mark Giordano seems like that big name that you take, somewhat of a big contract, but a safe big contract, unlike some other guys who are exposed that have big contracts, but might not be safe. And also, I don't know who else you take from Calgary. Josh Levo, maybe, but why when you can have Mark Giordano? Brett Ritchie, why when you can have Mark Giordano? Yeah, I don't know who you take other than Mark Giordano, right? Like, I don't. So Mark Giordano, like, I don't know why you wouldn't take him. Like, you make him your face of your franchise, you know. Yeah, I don't see another option really, or I don't see another reason to take anyone else except for Mark Giordano. Yeah, I'm thinking, and I don't see it. I don't see why you would take anyone else other than Giordano. Now so let's move on to Carolina. Carolina, very interesting. Well, Dougie Hamilton's a UFA, but I'm not sure. There's no reason to waste a pick on Dougie Hamilton if you might just sign him anyways, because I'm pretty sure he's leaving like Carolina. Now, of course, you might have to get into that bidding war thing, but let that bidding war happen because you know, Dougie Hamilton off the bat wants $9 fucking million or something like that. So you kind of have to see it. It's like, hey, you know what? Go to the market, see if you can actually get that. Because like no one really wants to pay that. So interesting. Like Nino Niederreiter could go maybe, but at 5.25, I don't know. I feel like, you know, or who else you got? Martinook is a pretty good Cedric Paquette, you know. But Nino Niederreiter is probably like the second big name. Or Jake Gardner, I don't know why you would really take him, but like maybe. But the big name is Jake Bean. And but I would say that there's definitely going to probably be a deal for Jake. I don't think Carolina just lets Jake Bean go. I think that they try to hold on to him and don't let Jake Bean go. So there will probably be a deal to take Nino Niederreiter instead. So that they can keep Jake Bean. I'm going to add that as a comment just to make it in stone. Probably. I like how I didn't capitalize most of that shit, but who cares? We move on. We stand. Yeah. So, like, I would not be surprised if there's a deal so that Seattle doesn't take Jake Bean, but I feel like that price is gonna be steep. It's gonna be like Nino Niederreiter and some other fucking dumb shit. So I don't know, but Nino Niederreiter could easily go to Carolina. They have, and then maybe you take a defenseman somewhere else, but they have like the minimum. Like you can not take Jake Bean and take Nino Niederreiter as instead. I don't really see it. Because it's like, well, why don't we just take like Jake Bean is fucking 23. And is looking like a pretty solid defenseman. I don't know why you wouldn't just take him. And you can always trade him fucking later. Unless, of course, Carolina is willing to give you a fucking arm and a leg. If Carolina is willing to give you a fucking arm and a leg, you fucking take that deal of course. But to me, I'm just like, fuck it. I guess we got to lose Jake Bean. Like, I don't know what to do. You're not losing Jacob Slavin. You're not losing Brett. How do you fucking pronounce Brett? It's not Sketchy. It's fucking, I don't know. Brett Shea? I don't know. There's some weird. It's spelt like SKJEI, but it's not pronounced that way. Or you're not losing Brett Pesce. Like, you're not losing those guys. You're okay with losing Jake Gardiner, because fucking Jake Gardiner. Dougie Hamilton's probably on his way out. So, like, you have to protect those other guys. You could have went 4-4, but the problem is that what happens is that you have 7 forwards, so you have to protect Sebastian Aho. You have to protect Jordan Staal. You have to protect Teuvo Teravainen. You have to protect Vincent Trocheck. You have to protect Andrei Svechnikov. So that's too much. You 1, 2, 3, yeah. You would lose Vincent Trocheck instantly if you didn't protect 7 guys. Because you have to protect Svechnikov, you have to protect Teravainen, you have to protect Staal, and you have to protect Sebastian Aho. You have to protect those guys. So Jake Bean is the odd man out. I think you take him, and then there's probably a deal to not take Jake Bean, but I feel like that deal is going to be a steep ass fucking deal. I don't know. Moving on to Chicago, not much in terms of pickings here. Put down Brett Connolly, guy that probably can play well on a different team. Chicago didn't have a great year. Chicago's not looking like a strong team right now, looking like a rebuild. 29-year-old Brett Connolly at a cap hit of 3.5. Probably fits fine on Seattle, you know. New sceneries. See what he does. Apparently I'm hitting every fucking goddamn shitter around me. Yeah, I mean, yeah, so for Chicago, I think it's just Brett Connolly. I mean, I don't know who else really hit. I mean, maybe Vinny Hinostroza. Vinny Hinostroza is a pretty, he's only a 1 million cap hit. He's been rough. He's been having a rough time, but maybe you take Vinny Hinostroza. Maybe, Chicago wants to keep Brett Connolly, and you say, okay, take Adam Gaudette and Vinny Hinostroza instead, and we'll give you a pick or two. Maybe that happens, but I think, first up is Brett Connolly. I don't know why, as Chicago, you'd be like, oh, God, please don't take Brett Connolly away from us. You guys need to shake up, and going with younger is better. So Adam Gaudette is 24 years old. Vinny Hinostroza is 27 years old. Brett Connolly is 29 years old. Yeah. I think you let Brett Connolly go. Could they take Nikita Zadorov? I don't think so. Maybe. Or they could take Malcolm Subban. I would think they would go with Brett Connolly first, unless there's some deal, and if there's some deal, maybe Malcolm Subban's involved in that deal. I'm not sure. But moving on to Colorado. Interesting, I think. They're mostly losing a lot of guys because, they might lose Landeskog, and they might lose Brandon Saad. So, their team's a little bit... I don't know if that J.T Compher is like that. He's a good player, 26 years old. I'm sure he'll play great on Seattle. I'm just not sure that, Colorado's that concerned about losing him when they have to, do so much other shit to maybe keep Landeskog, maybe keep Saad, So I don't think Colorado puts up that much of a fight to keep Compher. They could, but I don't really know what else you're giving up to keep him, right? Yeah, I don't know. I think Compher just goes to Seattle. Columbus, Max Domi, maybe. Kind of guy that seems to do well on new teams, and maybe he can find his groove again, like he did in Montreal for a little while. But yeah, it's up to him really. It doesn't seem like he found his groove in Columbus, so maybe a new scenery is good for him. yeah, I mean it sucks. It sucks for Columbus, who just lost him, or just traded Josh Anderson for him to then lose him for nothing, lose Max Domi for nothing. But I mean, I don't know who else you like leave exposed. Jack Roslovic? No, he's the only fucking good player out of fucking line A. Like, you have to keep line A, and Jack Roslovic is playing like the best out of that deal. So it's like that's your only. Jack Roslovic is the only thing keeping that trade of fucking alive, is that Jack Roslovic is playing well. Although, Pierre-Luc Dubois kind of shot himself in the foot because he didn't play that well in the playoffs. But Eric Robinson, I don't really know much about him, but they're valuing him more than Max Domi, so he probably is playing some minutes. Mikhail Grigorenko, maybe. But I mean, I don't know. Scott Harrington on defense. Like, you don't really protect the, like, I don't know, like, I don't know who you take off of protect. Like Eric Robinson, like maybe you take off protection, but there's a reason why he's protected. Like they just value him more than, I don't really know much. So if he's valued more than Domi, he's valued more than Domi. I don't know. I just don't know that Domi didn't have a great season. I mean, I guess it's kind of interesting that they're not protecting Max Domi, but are protecting Cam Atkinson. I don't know who picks up Cam Atkinson's fucking almost $6 million deal at 32 years old. But I guess Seattle might. And Columbus doesn't want to lose him. But, I mean, if Columbus views him as like one of the only players that like actually tries, then yeah. Columbus seems to be I mean, what's his name is gone. Their coach is gone, but Columbus seems like a place that's like, hey, you need to like buy in. Like, it's hard to come by players that buy into our system, so we just need to keep them no matter what. And if Max Domi doesn't buy into that system, then like, get him out of here. But maybe that's different now with the coach change. Oh, and maybe they just don't like Domi. So moving on to Dallas, I would say they take Jamie Alexiak. A lot of people seem to be taking other picks, like I don't even know who the fuck, like some other young guy, or like not Kudobin, because Kudobin's not available. Yeah, I mean, they could take Honka, I guess, but Honka really has not made it. He's 25. Alexiak is a UFA. I guess that's the biggest problem, is that Alexiak is UFA, but I feel like they do some deal to get him. I don't know. Like, Alexiak is a UFA. That's the biggest issue, I think, is that they could probably get him somewhere else, but I don't really know who. I don't know why you wouldn't just go, hey, we want you. We want to, negotiate with you first. Maybe they take Adam Mascherin or something, somebody who's like under contract. Oh no, he's a RFA. Tanner Caro, maybe. I don't know. Like, I don't know who they really take. I would just take a flyer on Alexiak and be like, hey, we want you. We've picked you. You could have picked somebody else who's under contract still, but we want you on our team. Like, I just feel like, why the fuck not? I don't know who else you take off Dallas. I really don't know. But I don't know that much about Dallas, to be honest. So, but moving on to Detroit, I picked somebody else first. I thought they would take like Nemestikov, Vladislav Nemestikov, but I forgot that Troy Stetcher is fucking available. So you take Troy Stetcher. You just do. Maybe they make a deal to keep him, but that involves Vlad Nemestikov. I don't think so. 27-year-old, $1.7 million cap hit. Troy Stetcher probably doesn't really fit on Detroit. Detroit wants to take a step up. So maybe they try to keep Stetcher. I don't know what their defensive pool is looking like for next year. Like, is Mortis Sider ready? Is Albert Johansson ready? Is Jared Misak ready? Maybe. So maybe they're okay with losing Troy Stetcher. I don't know. We'll see if there's a deal for it. I don't think so. I would say just take him and move the fuck on. Take Troy Stetcher. He's a good, solid defenseman for you. Looking to turn things around, He's at Detroit. Move on to a better team. and play better. Now, in terms of, I originally had Seattle taking Klefbom. I totally forgot that Klefbom is fucking injured, or probably won't play next season. So no, they will not take him. I said they would take Tyler Benson. Apparently, people are saying that they'll take Tyler Benson, some younger guy looking to get on a new team, 23-year-old, 800,000 cap hit, just kind of looking to remake himself. Yeah, sure. I don't really know much about Tyler Benson. I feel like I'm hearing that like they don't want to lose him, so there might be a deal so that they don't lose him, and instead they take Mikko Koskinen as the starting goalie, and they get some other stuff so that they don't take Tyler Benson. But I just put down Tyler Benson because I don't know why you would take Mikko Koskinen. In my opinion, I don't know. Edmonton's such a mess. Like, it's hard to tell if it's like Mikko Koskinen's fault that they're a mess, or it's just Edmonton. But I just feel like every goalie that goes to Edmonton is just cursed. But I think Cam Talbot, right, is not on at Edmonton anymore and is playing fine. So maybe maybe Edmonton just curses goaltenders. So maybe you're better off taking Mikko Koskinen, and that's your starting goalie. You also get Vitek Vanacek, as the potential starter as well at much cheaper, and you just pick up Mikko Koskinen instead of Tyler Benson. But I'm gonna stick with what I have right now, and maybe some deal gets made so that they take Mikko Koskinen instead. If Oilers really don't want to lose Tyler Benson, then Seattle will go, yeah, we're going to take him. Unless, of course, you give us something. So I feel like that's possible. Florida. I put down that they would get Frank Vetrano from Florida. Decent player on Florida. I don't know who else to really take, to be honest. Chris Driedger. I mean, maybe you take Chris Driedger and just so you can get the negotiation rights to him. But if it's already kind of seen that Chris Driedger will leave, and Chris Driedger's like, yeah, I'm going to fucking Seattle. Fuck this shit. Then you take Frank Vetrano. Now you got a $2.5 million cap hit player on your team. Or you take Alexander Wenberg. Apparently, it's hard to get centers, and the reason why I didn't put Wenberg here is because I already have Victor Rask. I already have them taking Max Domi. I already have them taking Kerfoot. I already have them taking. Is there another center? Maybe not. So they got 3 centers. Oh, Michael Granlund. They've got a couple centers here, but maybe there's deals that go around that they don't take these guys, and they take so maybe they do take Adam Henrique, or maybe they do come into Florida and they take Alexander Wenberg instead of Frank Vetrano. I don't really know. But, I would say that up front is Frank Vetrano. Second pick is, Alexander Wenberg. I don't know how good. I think Wenberg did worse than Frank Vetrano. But apparently people are saying that the centers, it's slim pickings for the centers. I'm not really sure. Wenberg seems pretty good. Victor Rask, I think, is pretty decent, right? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they all have bad fucking seasons, but I don't know why they couldn't just turn it around. Well, easy enough to say, but... yeah, I just have a couple other centers here that I think they'll take instead, unless barring deals. Because I'm just thinking, okay, if they don't take Frank Vetrano from Florida, or they do take Wenberg, what else would cause them not to take Wenberg? Okay, well they could take Adam Henrique from Anaheim, so that Anaheim keeps Fleury. Okay, well then, what do we got? We got, maybe, they take, maybe they don't get Victor Rask. So maybe they take Adam Henrique, but they don't get Victor Rask because that's a $4 million cap hit. So maybe they take, Wenberg instead of Victor Rask. Victor Rask is older. But, he might be more, guaranteed. wins because he was on Minnesota, a team that made it to the playoffs. Or, well, Florida did too. I just don't know how good Wenberg was doing on that team. So I mean, I don't know. There's like a lot of shit that can change here. I just put Frank for Toronto because I think it's the best one, but I can easily see that changing. I don't know if they also get Chris Driedger. Yeah, I put that. Maybe that changes up. In Los Angeles, I don't know why you wouldn't take Olli Maatta. Besides taking Brendan Lemieux, and maybe you could take Athanasiou as well. Olli Maatta just seems like a solid defenseman that you just don't like. I would just take him. I don't know. Just seems like a solid defenseman that can give you good top 4 minutes. But maybe they have like enough, defensemen that they think they don't like need. I only have 10 here, so that's like the extra defenseman is only Maatta. So maybe they don't take Cale Fleury out of Montreal, but maybe they take Kulak. I don't really know. Yeah. So I would just think Olli Maatta is like the best option you have. But, if things shake up and stuff goes differently in some other areas, then maybe they take Brendan Lemieux or Andres Athanasiou. Maybe. Hold on, I'm gonna fucking... All right, moving on to Minnesota. I say they take Victor Rask, but maybe they take Kaapo KahKonen. I can easily see them doing that instead of taking Victor Rask. I just don't know how good Kaapo KahKonen is. And if he's too good, I feel like they take Victor Rask because Minnesota's going to give them a deal. Let's see what his stats were. Played 54 games, 23 points. Oh, he had no points in the playoffs. Oh, okay, that's why people don't want him to get picked, or saying he won't get picked. In 80 game seasons, he scores about 28 points. He was on pace for that again. 48 points. He scores on 82 game seasons. Although, oh no, that's 2014. That's like rookie seasons. Yeah, 48, 45, 30, 33. He seems to got to consistently get, although he only 26. Oh no, that's like a split season. But his split season, 26 games, 6 points, 23 games, 3 points. But then he had 43 game season, 13 points, 54 game season, 23 points. He seems to been getting used to it again. But maybe. What the hell is... Oh, okay. Some hockey player's gay, it turns out. Or some kid that got drafted. Yeah, like maybe they don't take him because every time he switches teams, it seems like he just kind of falls off a little bit until he like rebounds. But I just don't know why Minnesota would let KahKonen go. So I feel like there might be. I feel like it's more likely that there's a deal for Victor Rask than them taking KahKonen. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with it. Fuck it. So Montreal, I think they take Fleury from Montreal. They could take Brett Kulak. He played well in the playoffs, but I feel like Fleury is just 22-year-old defenseman, almost ready to come in. I don't know. I think that they take Fleury. But again, they could easily take Brett Kulak. But that's, yeah. They're not going to take Price. Okay, the big news is that Price is not protected. Price is apparently injured. And also, Price has a $10.5 million fucking contract on his head. And he's 33 years old. And that contract goes on until 2026. And he's injured. So, they're not taking Price. It's very tempting. Maybe they do. But I'm not sure that I view that as, like, awful if they take Price, because now we suddenly have $10.5 million just freed up. So, yeah, I mean, obviously we need to go looking for a goalie, but I think it's just too high of a risk for Seattle to take Price. I think it's just way too high of a risk. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they do. But I feel like Montreal planned to not have Price leave. That feels like a little dumb. I feel like it would be really stupid of Price to waive his no movement clause that he signed with his team. Just be fuck it, see ya. You know what, guys? Protect, like, it's just weird. Like the trade isn't like if Price was actually leaving the team, the trade wouldn't be like, that'd be so dumb. You wouldn't just go, oh yeah, you know what? We'd rather have Jake Allen than Carey Price. I don't know. Although, next year, Jake Allen's contract is $2 million cheaper. He's only a $2 million goalie next year. Anyways, but yeah, I just think they're not going to take Jonathan Drouin because it's too much up in the air. Shea Weber's injured. Paul Byron's a good player. Maybe they take him. But $3.4 million at 32 years old? Probably not. I would say Fleury or Brett Kulak goes. But I think Brett Kulak goes, Fleury goes before Brett Kulak goes. In Nashville, I say they take Michael Granlund. I just think he's a good, solid defenseman that can use a change of scenery. UFA this year, so maybe they don't take him because he's a UFA. Didn't even fucking see that. But, oh, fuck. Oh, then why wouldn't they just take Nick Cousins instead and then see if they can sign him? Huh. True. I didn't even see that. I forgot. Okay, we're changing one thing. We are changing Michael Granlund to Nick Cousins, and then they probably get fucking... Somebody gets Nick Granlund. Like, yeah, Granlund. Nick. Yeah, that guy. Nick Cousins. And then... Yeah, I think that makes more sense, actually. New Jersey, I say they take Scott Wedgwood. Apparently, I think he turned into their like second string goalie after Mackenzie Blackwood because Aaron Dell didn't work. So why not just take him? See if he does you any good. I don't know who else you take off of. Maybe you take Will Butcher. Maybe you take PK Subban. Maybe you take Ryan Murray. Maybe like those guys are bigger names. But oh no, you don't take Ryan Murray as UFA. Will Butcher is a UFA in 2022. PK Subban's a UFA in 2022. So maybe you take one of those guys, see what happens, you know. But I kind of doubt it. Maybe you take Nick Merkley. Merkel? Yeah. I could see you taking a couple of those guys, but, I mean, you need to take 3 goalies, so why not get Wedgwood? But again, maybe you get Will Butcher or something. I don't know. I could see them taking a couple guys from New Jersey. I just went with a goalie because there's a lot of options. And apparently some people are saying Wedgwood is the option. Because PK Subban has a $9 million cap hit, and Will Butcher is volatile. Like, he might play good, he might not play good. You don't really know. But Wedgwood is more of a guarantee. Also at a cap hit of 0.7. Like, 0.7 million, 700,000. Islanders, I think you take Josh Bailey from Islanders. Just a good, solid player that they don't want to lose. So maybe a deal comes in so that they don't lose Josh Bailey. But I think if no deal comes in, you just take Josh Bailey. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know who else you take. Maybe Sebastian Aho, the defenseman, Sebastian Aho, not the forward. Maybe you take Jordan Eberle, but I don't think so, because Josh Bailey's, you know, $500,000 cheaper. With, no, they both UFAs on the same year. Yeah, I mean, I don't know who you take that isn't Josh Bailey. Mostly because, like, maybe, but again, maybe you get a deal, so they don't take Josh Bailey, because I don't think New York Islanders want to lose Josh Bailey. Rangers, I say they take Barclay Goodrow. Because I don't know who else you take, actually. Yeah, I don't know who else you take. So I think they just take Barclay Goodrow. There's not much else to, like, the defensemen are old as fuck. Yeah, I don't know what else to say besides I don't know who else you take. So I'm going to leave it at that. Ottawa, I say they take Evgeny Dadonov. I don't know if this motherfucker's a UFA. No, he's UFA in 2023. Again, I think he played pretty well for Ottawa. He had some good spurts. I think on a new team with better teammates, or like not like, well, I mean, again, Ottawa can do that next year, but yeah, I think with better teammates, right, which can happen in Ottawa, because next year a lot of young players will be taking their next steps. But yeah, I think you either take well, Ryan Dezingel's a UFA, so you can sign him later. And Isamov is a UFA. And then in terms of other players, you have, I don't know, nobody on the forwards list defensively. Josh Brown, maybe. I don't know who you take. Maybe you take Matt Murray. Maybe. You could take Matt Murray from Ottawa. But, and I don't think Ottawa would have any problem losing him. But, because, well, they don't, because they didn't protect him. So, yeah, you could take Driedger as well. So they might take a goalie from Ottawa. But I think, I would take Evgeny Dadonov and, like, I don't think Driedger is going to be your starting goalie. Maybe Philip Gustafson. Sorry, maybe, well, Matt Murray probably can. But I think Vincent Vanacek can be your starting goaltender. If not, like, you get Driedger. I think they're really in on Driedger. So you sign him as a UFA and you pick other people. That other person, Evgeny Dadonov. Because you have $68 fucking million of cap hit, so you have like 20-something million to play with. Or 10-something. You have like 14 mil, I think. It's an $81 million cap hit, I think, is the cap. Is the cap. I think you take it, getting that enough. I like it. Philadelphia takes Shane Gostisbehere. Fuck it. I don't really know who else you take from. I'm gonna sneeze. The big name out there is Jacob Voracek. But on an $8.25 million cap hit, I don't see you taking him. But there might be a deal so that they don't lose Shane Gostisbehere. But Shane Gostisbehere, $4.5 million cap hit. Good, solid defenseman. Philadelphia probably doesn't want to lose him, so maybe you make a deal. And maybe that deal involves Jacob Voracek. I think I made that a note there. I didn't, but if it's not Shane Gostisbehere, it'll be Voracek in some deal. Retain salary, maybe. Who knows? Like a million different things. Yeah. I need to blow my nose. I'll do it after though. Where the fuck was I? Oh, Pittsburgh. I said they would take Brandon Tanev. Just solid player, I think. Solid winger. Take him. I don't know who else you take. At the same Lindgren over here. Yeah. Oh, no. No, Ryan Lindgren. Oh, that's not the same Lindgren. So that's not the good defensive Lindgren. Yeah, just take that or Jason Zucker, but Jason Zucker is a $5.5 million cap hit, so Brandon Tanev is a $3.5 million cap hit. That or like Austin Reese, maybe you take. Yeah, I think you just take Brandon Tanev. I don't know. It just seems like a solid player to take. Why not? $3.5 million cap hit. Yeah. San Jose, I think they take a couple. They take an RFA from San Jose and Ryan Donato. Again, solid winger, RFA. Don't have to worry about the cap hit on that one, so you keep yourself your cap down. Okay, I think I wanted to trade me like ages ago. Yeah, keep your cap hit low because it's an RFA. You make some deals afterwards with that extra cap space, and then you resign. Ryan Donato. Do a deal. I think that's how it'll go. Same with St. Louis. I mean, Vincent Dunn is just too good to pass up on. You just take Vincent Dunn. I think it's just the best option. I don't think you take Vlad Tarasenko. His cap hit is too massive for the player. He's not the same player anymore. He's not the $7.5 million cap hit player he used to be. So, Vincent Dunn is just too good of a RFA defenseman. Probably sign him for like a couple mil. 3-something mil maybe. I think you pick him up and you can maybe get Vlad Tarasenko later. You know, you've got the cap space. And you maybe make a deal for him. And maybe that deal comes in with, hey, we don't want you to take Vincent Dunn. Take Vlad Tarasenko. We'll give you all this shit. And if that's the case, then, like, yeah, again, I'll call that a win. Or a fair prediction on my part. I just think, yeah, Vincent Dunn's too good to just be like, no, we don't want it. We'll take Vlad just for free. Like, no, you make a deal out of it. Tampa Bay. Don't help Tampa Bay. Do not take. I thought they would take Andre Palat before. Don't help them. Take their players later. Don't just yoink a player off them and give them $5.5 million of cap space or $5.3 million of cap space and take Andre Palat. Make them suffer. Take Ross Colton. He played really well in the playoffs. Pretty sure he scored the fucking Stanley Cup winning goal. Or was that Coleman? I don't know. Regardless, you take Ross Coleman and you take fucking Cal Foote. Either you take Ross Coleman or you take Cal Foote. Either one. I'll put the note there just so that's known. And then you take a deal for a bigger player. But also and Cal Foote. Yeah, make Tampa suffer. Don't help them. Take Cal Foote or Ross Colton and say to Tampa, hey, we'll help you with your cap space, but you got to give us a fuck ton, okay? That's what you got to do. That's what every team should do. Don't help them like you've helped so many fucking teams in the past. Don't help them like you did with Chicago and shit like that. Don't help them. Let them suffer. they are forced to come to you or lose players. Well, they're losing players anyways, but like, don't take Alex Killorn, don't take Yanni Gourde, don't take the bigger, take a tiny player. Make them make a deal with you. In terms of Toronto, that one's pretty easy. Just take Kerfoot. You could take Jared McCann too. That'd be interesting. You know, trade and nab him. Maybe that's better. Like, I think it's just kind of like a, not an optics thing, but it'll be kind of like you're taking a player off Toronto, in my eyes. Now, this could be biased because I'm not a Toronto fan. I'm a Habs fan. Could be biased, but it's possible that you take a player off, you take McCann off of Toronto, and you go, hey, I'm not going to enable your team to look any different. I'm going to snipe this guy off your team. You can keep Kerfoot if you want, but now your team is not looking any different, and you guys fucking bombed out of the playoffs. How does that look, right? Like, maybe you take Jared McCann so that Toronto doesn't have, like, they are running it back, the same exact team, which can be good and it can be bad. But, like, you know, maybe you do, like, a little PR movement here, and you could just go, hey, we'll take Jared McCann. You just spent nothing, okay? You just traded for nothing, okay? Now, they technically didn't, but that's how you can spin the PR move or whatever you say. Haha, you idiots traded McCann for nothing. Or like you traded away stuff for nothing. You traded for air because McCann's gone already. They didn't. They traded so that they could keep Kerfoot, basically. So that Seattle would take McCann and they could keep Kerfoot. So, but, like, you know, that's where the other side comes in, is that do you want to play into what Toronto wants? Do you want to give them what they want? Maybe instead you go, hey, you guys traded for McCann. You wouldn't have otherwise done that. You would have liked to have kept Kerfoot, right? So I'm not going to let you keep Kerfoot. I'm yoinking Kerfoot off your team. I don't know. I think that Toronto needs to move. Like, they need to change a lot of stuff around them. I don't, like, if they have Jared McCann now, I don't mind them losing Kerfoot because they have Jared McCann. Like, it's a good new. But again, Kerfoot was like a good center for them. They need a good, solid third line center. I'm not sure if McCann is that. So that's why I'm going with Kerfoot, because I just feel like it fucks with Toronto more a little bit, maybe. Like, they make this deal to hopefully keep Kerfoot, and they don't keep Kerfoot anyways. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, Vancouver, I said they take Jake Virtanen. I don't really know who you take other than that. Jake Virtanen, 24-year-old, $2.5 million contract to sign till the year 2022. He's an RFA in 2022. Safe, good young player. Take Jake Virtanen. That's the kid they signed instead of Toffoli, and now they're leaving him exposed. Maybe they would have had to have left Toffoli exposed anyways, but yeah. That or Sven Berchi, but I don't think, or nope, not Jay Beagle. No. Yeah, I think they just take Jake Virtanen. I don't know who else Jake Virtanen. Washington, this is where they get their starting goalie, I think. They take Vincent Vanacek, or Vidic Vanacek. Maybe it is Vincent, I don't know. Anyways, they take Vanacek, and yeah, that's their starting goalie, besides potentially getting Chris Driedger. But this is like their goalie, and then they might sign him over. And from Winnipeg, like, I don't know who else you take off fucking Washington besides Vanacek. I don't know. I honestly have no idea. Maybe Connor Sheary, but why? Maybe Brian Pino, but why? So, yeah, Vanacek. And then Winnipeg, again, I don't know who the fuck you take off of them. So, why not? Whatever goalie I said. Mikhail Berdine. Young, 23-year-old, 700,000, RFA in 2023. See where he goes. Young goalie. Fuck it. Yeah, I don't know who else. I mean, besides Mason Appleton, but again, Mason Appleton's making $900K. Like, why not just take the young goalie instead of the 25-year-old winger? That, you know, give the goalie more time to develop. I don't know. Why not? You need 3 goalies. Take young goalie. But again, that could change if they take a goalie somewhere else for some deal or whatever. Like, I would expect that this list is not correct at all, because there's gonna be a bunch of deals that I have no knowledge of. or can't even like fathom because I'm not a fucking GM. Like I have no idea what every single team is thinking, right? So I can't make the calls to the GMs and go, hey, what do you want for this guy? So I think that's my prediction. Total cap it after the expansion draft of 68 million. It was about 70 million, so I dropped a little bit by switching out somebody who was a UFA. I don't know. Who was it? Oh, Nashville. Instead of taking, Granlund. Instead of taking Granny, to take Nick Cousins. Because Granlund's a UFA. Yeah. I think that's how it goes. So that kind of... Oh, yeah, that shrinks up your... Okay, so yeah. So the center market is a little thin, isn't it? Because they might not even take Victor Rask. They might take KahKonen. Or Kaapo, KahKonen. And if they do that, then that's another center that they're not taking. So yeah, I think center is pretty slim pickings, but the UFA market is a little bit heavier, so they can get those centers that they need in the free agency. But again, I think center is going to naturally be slim pickings anyways because that's what's happening with Vegas right now is they don't really have like that top center that they need. Yeah. So I mean teams keep their centers. Centers are hard to come by. Centers can play wingering, but wingers can't play center typically. So you keep your centers. Typically. So yeah, I mean that's, my prediction, my broad prediction. I'll post this up. If you have any thoughts about it, let me know. I mean, yeah, I'm streaming too, so if you want to talk about it, I'll be here.